someone is going to say, yes, but I'm supposed to be teaching blank, right? And there's all these kind of academic skills. And obviously, what the stories may be about may have content direct correlations. Maybe you're talking to an older member of the family about the Vietnam War, and so there's some content piece there. But by and large, oftentimes these things I'm guessing are kind of more those skills, soft skills that we know then are useful across the board. So talk to me a little bit more about kind of where you see it kind of intersecting with what we think of as kind of traditional academia. What are the academic perspectives on this if you're kind of talking to someone about, why is storytelling, and also the process of interviewing folks. Right? How does that play?
Schools have been getting students to interview their grandparents or someone special in their life for decades. And so we all know all the cross-curricular and social-emotional benefits from doing this. But in the past, the process has been quite amateurish. Kids handwrite or maybe draw or glue a picture onto a big piece of cardboard, which is hard to share and is not very valuable for long. So I wanted to automate that whole process. So it's automated for the teacher, the families, and to make it more of a 21st century activity using technology as a tool so students could achieve more than they traditionally would be able to in the past and create a polished end product that teachers can give feedback on, give a grade, include into their subject material however they want to. The book can be included in the student's portfolio for reflection and for proof of learning, and books have more longevity and families value them, so potentially could buy them if it's a fundraiser for the school. So probably the best example is a recent project that I did with the Champagne Catholic Boys High School in Sydney. The director of teaching and learning there, Melissa Carson, said that identified a lower than usual literacy level in their Year 7 cohort. And so they wanted to address this and try to improve the family engagement at the school as well. So they used my tech for their English life writing unit, where students had to write a biography or autobiography. And instead of the students writing onto a blank page, which is difficult for anybody, especially that age group, they used my FamilyBookform template page. So they could then either speak the story into the question and answer boxes, or they could interview others using the speech to text, and they can invite other family members to also contribute content. So, for example, some of the students had relatives that didn't speak English. They were migrant grandparents. And so this had always limited conversations within the family with the grandparent and the grandchildren. So that student could then interview their grandparent, and the grandparent could speak the language, their native language. And the student then used the technology as a tool to translate and transcribe that story, those answers, directly into their book. And so when we had that the book presentation ceremony at the school, I had families coming up to me saying that they'd heard stories about their grandparents and their parents that no one had ever heard before. So that was a really wonderful experience for the whole family. And so the FamilyBookform dashboard provides all the scaffolding needed and video explainers so that the teachers don't need to give constant instructions or explain how to do it. So it's similar now to how the online games students play are. These instructions are built into the game. It's all intuitive, and so the students can work independently and follow the question prompts or make up their own questions, and they can differentiate by using either the speech to text or just writing, or getting content inputted from people, other family members far away or something like that. So the students were able to work asynchronously at their own pace to collect a lot of content that then could be used in the classroom for the classroom lesson. So it's sort of like a modern day show and tell, where the students can take turns to play the audio files, for example. And, not everyone in the classroom has grandparents or extended family. So this was an opportunity for everyone in that classroom, all the students, to enjoy authentic story sharing and hear real migrant stories or escape from war-torn countries, or some sort of tragedy or success or something like that. So if this is a literacy lesson, the teacher can focus the students in the class on maybe editing the text, and the class can discuss the difference between oral story and written story, and how a character develops over time. And if it's in a history lesson, for example, this could be authentic, original content related to a migration, or conflict in an area, or why this town was built in this place, and things like that. In science, it could be a primary source of original content for a research project, for example, because students can't copy and paste this information from the internet because it just doesn't exist. And they're connected to the content because they've collected it. It's personal to them, and so they're more motivated to want to learn how to polish the text, or learn the history involved with where their grandparents grew up or where they came from, things like that. So it's about the motivation of getting that kid interested to learn in your lesson.